back in January of 2023, AI was certainly hot, but how do we assess its impact on things like software delivery performance and organizational performance? This was a thing that we as researchers really struggled with. So we asked this question for the primary application or service that you work on, how important is the role of AI in contributing to each of the following tasks? And as you can see on the report there, we list about 20 different tasks, one of which is analyzing security. What we see is that slightly more than 60% of our respondents say it's at least somewhat important, with just over 30% saying that it's extremely important. What does this really tell us? I guess another thing we have to remember is that we closed the data collection in July. And Mark, you and I both know that from July until, I don't know, what is it? It's the beginning of November already. How does that happen? Things have changed a lot. AI is so fast paced right now. It's interesting to understand that bit of it, like how we collect the data, how we report on it. This is truly a snapshot. The other thing that's important to know is, what did we actually find? We see some numbers of people saying it's important, but we also find that for the teams that are using it, there is some moderate improvement in the well-being of the engineers on those teams. This makes a lot of sense to me, just thinking about it. I'm an engineer. I want to play with the new stuff. AI is the new hotness. If I can get my hands on that, I'm going to be more excited about the work that I'm doing, maybe more engaged with it. Only 1% of our survey respondents identified themselves as being in information security. So I think that we're only seeing a brief glimmer of how this is impacting security professionals in particular, and where they're using it, where they're headed. Where should you use it? Where can you start experimenting? The truth is, what we also see in our data is that AI, those teams that are using it, they aren't actually seeing any real positive impact on software delivery performance, on organizational performance. It's just too early. Maybe that's a good place for us to start experimenting and build that trust and confidence in the tooling.
Some people internally start playing with a little project, obvious things that this new technology can do. Is the ability to analyze for vulnerabilities, analyze systems, analyze infrastructures, is that the first game we're going to play with this?
That's a good question. I think it really is context specific. One of the other things that we found in our data was that teams with faster code reviews have a 50% better software delivery performance. If you're working on a team where code reviews are taking some time, maybe that's your bottleneck, and that's a better place to start with some AI experiments. The approach of DORA is to help you identify where is your bottleneck in achieving the outcomes that you want, and run an experiment where that bottleneck is to try to alleviate that bottleneck. And of course, once you alleviate that bottleneck, don't worry, there's another bottleneck behind it. Get into that mindset and that practice truly of continuous improvement. That's what DORA recommends. That's how we approach improving.
Thank you, Nathan. As always, wonderful report. Thanks for all the stuff you guys are doing.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Mark. It's good to see you.